Well, Pablo, if you think that we're watching anything but a black screen, oh, there we go.
Oh. What happened?
It's a horror game, so our audience is there we go. Horror.
Is there sound?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Could Mary really be here? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Cool. So
Right.
I have not played the game, so that actually helps me set the context. So I guess the wife may or may not still be alive. Welcome everybody to the Living Well Show. Today we are talking about Silent Hill 2, and we're going to be talking about the protagonist. As a fun twist, I have not played this game. Pablo has taken the time to get into it, prepare this episode, and bring up a lot of themes, and I am going to kind of go into this as a psychologist reacting to the unfolding of this horror trauma. Brief caveat, we do not own the game. Who does own it? Who's the publisher?
Konami.
Konami, yes. This belongs to Konami. We will be showing clips. They do not belong to us. They are going to be for education and entertainment purposes only. Please support the game by Konami. Oh, nice. So Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Edward A. Perin. I'm a psychologist in the great state of Ohio. With me is my lovely producer, Pablo.
Hello, everybody.
And yeah, I guess set the scene. What
Yeah, so today we're flipping the table. Usually Dr. Perin decides the topic and then he very kindly explains it to me, the layman. But this time around I figured I showed him something that he hasn't. Especially it's kind of rare in the gaming space, since we both are very well versed in that world, to find something that you haven't played that I've played. This is an old game, if you will. The game launched in 2004. So it's quite old. It's over 20 years old. It's 22 years old. I played it when it first launched for the PlayStation. I can't remember if it was PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2.
I guess that would
Kind
be
of
the
want to say
PlayStation 2. But when you said it's been over 20 years, I internally did that Matt Damon meme where he just grows old and
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's that. And it was remade last year for the new generation, completely remade from the ground up, brand new mocaps, re-recorded all the voice lines, and in fact they added new lines, and they kind of expanded a little bit more the story. Well, now with the new engine and everything that the games can do today, they were able to actually tell the story the way that they actually wanted to do it.
well,
Back in the day,
I remember when it came out. It was in all of the magazines. I just wasn't a huge fan of the horror genre of video games.
Let me tell you, I am not a fan of the horror genre. I am an absolute wuss, man. I'm a scaredy cat. And when I tell you that this game has really done a number on my mental state in the past couple of weeks, I've been like in a night kind of in this level of alert and kind of stress, because
You're afraid monsters are going to jump out of the closet.
no, it's not really. Well, here's the beauty of this game. The beauty and the good and the bad thing about this game, it's psychological horror. We're not talking about jump scares and ugly monsters, and it's more about, this entire game is designed to unnerve you and to get under your skin. With the sound design, is incredible. The music is incredible. Just just all of the sound and the way that they tell the story. Yeah.
I love this because I'm a huge fan of classic horror. Like Alfred Hitchcock did not have special effects. He used suspense. He used music. He was able to use tension to get people to feel something. And I remember I came of age during sort of like that torture porn era where like Hostel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw. I think there's like 7 or 8 Saws now. And I think that all they were trying to do is just hit the surprise reflex and the disgust reflex.
Yeah.
And we have more emotions than that. Oh, even like what was the one with Michael Myers? Friday? No, that's
Friday.
Friday the 13th. Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween.
So like the first Halloween is all suspense and eerie music. So if this captures that, I'm for it.
Wow. I mean, I am in absolute awe of this game. I remember playing it when it first came out, and it was really scary. This is absolutely terrifying. The other day I had to put the game down because we were one tunnel. There was one and there's no light and everything is dark, and you just have this little flashlight, and the sound in that one tunnel really got to me, and I go, I need to step away because I feel like physically I am uncomfortable now.
I want to say something about this because the people who watch this show are interested in psychology, and we are kind of touching on elements of this. There is a reason that people watch these kinds of movies, play these kinds of games, and the thing about real anxiety is that it's a fear of an uncertain future. One of the most common forms of anxiety is the catastrophizing, where you think of the worst possible outcome, but you don't know. And we stress over it all the time. But in a movie, we can kind of control those parameters. It's some people will watch the same movie over and over again or play the same game over and over again because it gives them a sort of a sense of control over this. If you get too scared, you can hit the pause button, you can save, you can turn off, you can come back at a later date. It's sort of microdosing controllable aspects of the future that it can actually hurt you. But I do think it's remarkable that this is a genre. This is a popular genre, horror movies, horror games. And I know a lot of people who will do that for comfort. Like if they're in a bad mood or if they have a lot of uncertainty going on, they are more likely to watch like an old zombie movie, or they're more likely to play a game like this. I think it's interesting. It's not my genre, except I love a zombie movie. I can watch zombie movies. I can watch zombie movies all day, every day. I don't consider them. I guess they're a horror genre. I just think they're sort of their own niche thing.
All right, let's dive in. There's a lot to talk about for in this game, and as we were discussing in our prep little meeting, this is going to require a second part, but it's going to be very worth it. Okay, and so what's Silent Hill? Silent Hill is actually the name of a town. It's a town that is located in a small, sleepy lake town in Maine, in the United States. Canonically, is in Maine.
Okay.
There's a ton of history in the town, but what is definitely very important is that this is a place with a lot of spiritual, very deep spiritual energy. It was a burial ground for indigenous tribes, and we all know how that place.
The old Indian burial ground.
The old Indian burial ground, but a lot of energy, a lot of kind of like spirit, a lot of spiritual vibes here in Silent Hill.
Well, I
now
want to
Silent Hill
protagonist. I want to know who the protagonist is.
Yeah,
I hate to rush you here, but like, what's his name?
His name is James Sunderland.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have Mr. James Sunderland here. He's our hero, if you will. He is an ordinary man. He is an office clerk.
Okay.
He is not a hero by any under any standard. He is not a hero. He's just an ordinary man that is beckoned to Silent Hill, as we saw in that opening scene.
From a letter. Now,
from a letter.
He watched his wife die. He was there during her.
His wife died from an illness. She was very, very sick. His wife was very sick, and she passed away 3 years ago, and he receives this letter. So in this opening scene, he has arrived at Silent Hill. And let me ask you, what do you think of that mirror scene? What do you make of that?
The mirror scene?
The mirror scene that we just saw at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't catch a mirror. I thought that he was just reflecting. He was listening to his own thought. Was there an actual mirror?
Yeah, he's looking at himself in the mirror.
Oh, fair. Okay. Yeah, no, to me, I think it's a great introduction, but I'm compelled by virtue of if my wife were sick, if she struggled with an illness, I probably would have watched her struggle with that illness. I probably would have been with her in the hospital. If she died, I probably would have seen the body. I probably would have attended the funeral, and I would have said the last rites. So if he received a letter, presumably from his wife, that said, "Hey, come down to Silent Hill where we had our special time," or whatever, I'm guessing it would be her handwriting. It would be somewhat recognizable to him. He didn't dismiss it. No. He took it seriously. So I'm drawn in.
Take a look at just these few seconds in the intro real quick. Let me know what you think. What you kind of just like his body language, more or less, kind of what's going on with him. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I received a letter from my dead wife, I'd be thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Surely she can't be alive.
Yeah. Right. So James arrives at Silent Hill, which is a very mysterious and very spiritual place. And he walks into Silent Hill and is completely covered in this fog. It's very hard to see. He can barely see of just a few feet in front of him, right? Which is kind of like the whole shtick of the game, is that you're in this very ethereal kind of looking place.
Mhm. With nobody around. It seems like it's just him.
Right off the rip, we meet someone else. Right at as soon as this scene finishes, you walk down a path and you meet this person.
Okay.
So this she is Angela. Her name is Angela Orozco. Okay. And I want to show you just the brief intro to Angela. And I want you to look at her body language, look at his body language, and then kind of like, I want you to read into between the lines of their interaction and what is not being said. This game does a terrific job at the show don't tell, which you love to see.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So we meet Angela, and I think right in this particular introduction is really important because we get to see, we really take a look, or we get a look at kind of like where everybody is in their mind, their state of mind.
Ah, yes, the old cemetery. Right at the beginning of a horror game. That means it's probably the safest spot in the whole game.
I'm sorry. I was just...
Hey, it's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
You just walk up to someone in the cemetery. Hi! Grab them by the shoulder.
Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But... I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. And it's not just the fog, either.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. It's kind of hard to explain, but...
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone. Someone very important to me.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean, my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either.
So does she mean here in
I'm
the
sorry,
cemetery?
it's not
Does she
your
mean
problem.
here in Silent
No.
Hill, right?
I hope you find them.
Well, she looks
Yeah,
like she's been here
me
for a
too.
while. Like, whatever horror he's about to bump into, it seems like she's already bumped into it.
A couple of things that stand out. Well, you go first. Actually,
Well,
what do you catch? What do you
Well,
see?
what's really catching my ear is that they're not being direct. They're not like he doesn't want to say, "Oh yeah, I received a letter from my dead wife," because that would sound crazy. But he's there, so he must believe it well enough, but not enough to where he thinks that he can convince another person. She similarly is kind of dodging. Like she's kind of she's speaking very vaguely and she's kind of sidestepping oh yeah, I'm here for my mom. Also but not going, my mom is dead, or my siblings and I received a letter from our dead mother, or whatever it might be. But it is enough to cause her to be distraught. But she is at a cemetery, so if she's there looking for her mother and she's lost her siblings, why is she at a headstone?
Right? Exactly. That's exactly it.
But
I like you did notice the kind of like the kind of like
well,
boy.
they know something, that they have to have you have to have some awareness that other people aren't going to understand what you'd have to say. Otherwise, you wouldn't dodge it. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, I just received a letter from my dead wife." But that happens all the time. You see somebody who maybe has a delusion, or maybe they're in a manic episode, or they're somewhat psychotic. They will talk about their delusions as if it's obvious. I think we did that episode on A Beautiful Mind, where he
Mine,
was
yeah.
talking about, like, oh yeah, he's wearing an invisibility cloak.
Mhm.
And he said it like that would just wave away her fears.
Mhm.
You have to have some degree of awareness that what you're saying would sound crazy to another person.
Exactly. So James is looking for Mary. Okay. Hold on one second. Oh my God, where is it? I have a lot of tabs open. Here we go. All right. So James is looking for Mary. This is Mary, right? She's really cute, kind of like, like the little light, nice flowery dress, right? Very modest. And so James, do you see how calm he is? And she goes, "It's dangerous in there." And he's like, "Okay, thanks. I'm gonna go anyway." He remains calm like that the entire time. Very shortly after this, you start encountering some really horrific things. Okay, as a character, James starts encountering all these horrific things, and not a single time. I think at some point maybe he goes something like, "What the hell is going on?" when he sees something like this.
Yeah, I would think the normal response is,
"Are you serious?"
yeah,
And you turn around and you get the
yeah,
fuck out of
run,
here. It's like,
run. It's like, yeah, I'm here for my dead wife.
yeah,
Nope,
yep,
going home.
yep. I'd be like, "Babe, I love you so much, but
Yeah, you know what? I saw her buried. That's fine. I know she's dead. I don't need to follow the letter.
So this is one of this is just a few of the characters. There's only actually like 4 or 5 different enemies in the entire game. But
Are there several of them, or there are only 4?
only
Period?
4. Only
Okay.
4, period. Yeah. So what do you notice here of these characters, except for don't worry about the guy in the middle. What do you notice about the other 2 in the back?
Well, I don't have the best view here. Yeah, that person these looks like legs, 2 pairs of legs sewn together. Is one a male and one's a female pair of legs?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, I can't quite make out their face.
There's no face.
Yeah, but it is a woman. Looks like like a classic nurse attire.
Yeah, so these are
Was
the
Mary a nurse?
Mary was not a nurse, but she was sick.
Ah, okay. Yeah, spent a lot
Right?
of time in hospitals.
Yeah. So these are the 2 main, and then also this thing right here, whatever the hell this is, are the main monsters of the game. Look at this. This is kind of like some form of
Vagina dentata?
right, or it's clearly like a female figure of some sort with
It's got a clitoris.
some high heels, kind of like trapped, right? It looks like it's trapped in this like stretch shirt or something very amorphous at the same time.
It looks like a vagina.
Yeah, so James goes around Silent Hill encountering these things that he's not faced.
Yeah, also the legs are rotted. It looks like something took a
Mhm.
bite out of them.
Aside from a minor aside from a minor like, whoa, that's crazy. And then he grabs a pistol, which he's not used to shooting, and then he kind of like haphazardly shoots it. Again, he's just a normal man, right? So the storytelling kind of unfolds in a very atmospheric way. There's a lot of hints throughout the game as to what is happening, right? You encounter then a next character, which is so James's wife is called Mary. Then we encounter this woman called Maria. What do you notice of Maria?
Well, aside from being Spanish for Mary, also blonde, a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more sexy, but
Exactly.
yeah.
So Mary, of course, was very sick, and I think it's best to, at this point, kind of, we're gonna go into deep spoiler. I'm just gonna tell you exactly what happens, but then we're gonna dive into kind of why he's saying all these things, and then I want you to tell me how this kind of comes into play from a psychological standpoint. So, heads up, I'm about to spoil the living crap of this game because this is the main plot twist. Okay, so very, very, very late into the game, you found this videotape, and then this is what happens in this videotape.
It's too bad we have to leave. Promise you'll take me again, James?
Hey, there you are. Do you know where Mary is? Come on, talk to me.
Mary's gone. She's dead.
Liar. That's a lie.
No.
That their
It's the
kid.
truth.
That's a kid that you encounter throughout the game. She's not super, super consequential. Kind of more of a plot device.
She died because she was sick.
I killed her.
Killer? Why'd you do it? I hate you. I want her back. Give her back
Well,
to
this kid
me.
was friends with Mary.
I knew it. You didn't care about her. I hate you, James. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. She was always waiting for you.
So, surprise.
So he did kill her, so he does know that she's dead.
Exactly. But it took him a long time to come to this realization, right? There's a lot that happens in between. So he runs into Maria. Maria is this sexualized version of Mary. Essentially, Silent Hill is a place where people come to face their grief and their trauma.
Mhm.
And it's a physical manifestation of their grief and their trauma. So all these different elements, Maria is along for the ride, to tempt James. And there's actually a different ending, how depending on how much you care for Maria throughout the game, or not. And uh, even the character, the enemies, if you see they're all female, kind of like
Well,
gross and disfigured kind of versions of
but again,
female.
legs, nursing uniform, like there is kind of a sexual element to it. It's just grotesque. So even the
Mhm,
vagina monster, even though it looked like a vagina, it looked gross.
mhm,
Yeah, it had big chunks of its legs missing.
yeah. Um, so essentially, what Silent Hill is James facing his trauma, and is Silent Hill is forcing him to face what he did.
Well, that he killed her, but, like,
Mhm.
I wanna understand the context of him killing her. She was sick and he wanted to put her out of her misery? Like, what was his motivation for killing her?
Yeah, exactly. So she had been sick for a long time, and in her illness, she becomes, she's bedridden, and she becomes verbally abusive to James as well. And
Oh.
James cares for her. James, is always there for her, and she just kind of turns into this monster, into this version of herself that
Well,
James
redirecting her
can't.
own grief and her pain and projecting it onto him as it having him being the target of her aggression.
Exactly. And James, I guess, in a way, to just put her out of her misery, and him too. In fact, I want to show you here. I'll show you this one because this is a great ending. Oh, what is the name of this ending? There's like 5 different endings.
Oh, boy.
I think it's Stillness.
Yeah, I've never understood that. There are so many games, even the Outer Worlds has a bunch of different endings, but, like, I'm not replaying games over and over again. I don't know why they would do that. I'm just as happy since YouTube came out that if there's a game with multiple endings, I'll get the ending from beating the game, and then I'll watch all of them.
Yeah, yeah, for real. So here, actually, this is killer, man. This is great.
Barry.
Hey, handsome.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
Yeah. You did. But that's not why I did it. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
If that's true, then why do you look so...
I know. What happened? Why do you look so sad?
If that's true, why did you go to Silent Hill?
Exactly.
Mary.
Because he would have just moved along, right?
Yeah.
But it's
I would've
not
been
okay.
like, nope. Killed her ass.
What is
It's what you've been looking for.
I'm not sure. Well, the rest is not super relevant to what we're talking about. But
Well, him confessing that he was mad. He was tired of taking care of her. He was tired of putting up with her abuse. He wanted her gone so that he could move on with his life.
Mhm.
And he feels guilty even that he had that hatred.
The other character that we got to talk to is about this dude right here. This is one of the most iconic villains of all time in video game history. This is Pyramid Head. So Pyramid Head appears at different parts of the game. He's he's sort of a villain, yeah, but it's clear that he's not necessarily there to kill James. He's more pushing him forward.
He's trying to be a therapist.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah. So throughout the game, the Pyramid Head does things like pushing you through a window to go to the other world and kind of like just usher you in the way, and then Pyramid Head kills Mary a couple of times. Maria, and Maria keeps coming back. So essentially Pyramid Head is a representation of James's guilt. So Pyramid Head is James under the thing, right? But he is hiding himself from the truth, and he's just pushing himself along to face what he did, which is kind of like the ultimate goal of Silent Hill is to do that.
I would say that this takes a page from Carl Jung, one of the biggest Jungian archetype, or it's not even an archetype. Jung talks about the shadow, and we all have a shadow. It's our dark impulses. It's our regrets. It's the things that we've done. It's the things that we know that we're capable of doing. And he doesn't think that it's healthy for us to disavow our shadow. Like, oh no, not me. I'm a big, innocent, happy guy who only helps people all day long. He says that you need to integrate your shadow. You need to become a part. You need to recognize that you are maybe capable of violence, that you have harbored fantasies of killing, or that you're even capable of killing. So right away, I'm thinking that this is his shadow. And the purpose of the shadow is the more you try to deny it, the more you try to alter or suppress it, the harder it'll push you through a window. Like that it'll come back stronger. And the ultimate aim is, again, integration, not rejection. So it is probably serving him. It is saying, no, you got to remember this. No, you got to admit what you did. No, you got to confront your demons.
Mm-hmm. And what I want to ask you, and what I want kind of your take on is, of course, in real life, we can't all go to Silent Hill to face our trauma, right? And to face our grief that way.
That's what therapy's for.
Yeah. So how would you translate? These kind of, I guess, projections that James is facing in Silent Hill into a real life scenario as someone kind of dealing with this type of grief and trauma? Because he clearly repressed it, right? I mean, the entire time he's in denial.
It's a resistance, and there are kinds of two resistances. One is the resistance of an awareness, and the other is a resistance to a resolution.
Mhm.
So I take it that a big part of this is the resistance to the awareness. Like I've already repressed it. I deny it. Nothing happened. Oh, she was just sick, and then I received a letter. Nothing happened in between. I was just on vacation. But the resistance to the awareness, that's usually that can be difficult. Like, because we the reason it's a resistance is it's almost a pushing away at. And you can say, hey man, your wife is dead. No, I received a letter. There's a chance. Or even these monsters, that he's not being surprised by them. He's not being disgusted or repulsed by them, but they are visually disturbing. They aren't him. They aren't a one-to-one translation. So he's probably probably literally fights against them. You said he shoots at them. Yeah, I think the big part is the resistance, the awareness that he is defending against the reality that he killed his wife, but also that he's capable of doing it. He
Hmm.
could theoretically kill this. If Maria were a real person, he is resisting the fact that he could kill her over and over and over again. The
Hmm.
other part is the resistance to the resolution. Once he finally says it, "You know what? I killed her. I was the one who did it. It's dead." Uh, a poorly trained therapist would probably go into the affirmations like, "Oh, but she was sick. You really just put her out of her misery." Like, and I mean, she's probably smiling down on you, thanking you for doing it so that she didn't have to go through more months and months or years and years of just painful suffering. But that's not a resolution. That's an easy out.
Hmm.
Very often you have to explore the guilt, or you have to understand the guilt, and you have to hear them say, "Oh, but she was sick." You have to do that, but you got to really put the mirror to them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
about Mary, it's about him. He
Yeah.
needs to talk about his aggression. "I'm angry,
Hmm.
I'm mad. I wanted
Hmm.
out. She was
Hmm.
she was insulting me.
Yeah.
She was abusive."
and this is exactly the point of this game, is to portray that. So
Mhm,
this guy is completely he's completely overcome by grief, and he has clearly repressed the memory of the thought of what he did.
mhm.
Right, so he goes into this town, and then kind of the town guides him to face what he did and to accept it, right? I mean, there's along the way, you go into places like a jail, right? The jail doesn't even exist in the real town, but it's something that James's mind created
For
as a
his
way
guilt.
to yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, to deal with his guilt. And then there's a lot of different really interesting elements. So
Well, but
um
before you get
you
too far
saw
in here,
yeah.
I wanna highlight this because probably one of the biggest, fundamental awarenesses of psychology is that we don't know our minds very well,
Hmm.
and Freud specifically talked about ego defenses. Repression is probably one of the most well-known ego defenses, but it comes out sideways. He wrote the interpretation of dreams. He called dreams the royal road to the soul, to the psyche. And this is essentially that. These are representations of his internal struggles. They're visual representations, they're monstrous representations, but, it's not uncommon for us to have these in our dreams. It's not uncommon for it to show up in even hallucinations. It
Hmm.
Parapraxis, a word for the Freudian slip, it can sometimes come out in our language because he may or in real life one might accidentally slip. Oh yeah, when she was killed, I mean when she died, and that's a
Hmm.
way that slip is a way of connecting with or
Hmm.
bypassing that resistance to the awareness of a defense.
Yeah, and I think that yeah, those projections, and I think those lips are here. The physical representation of that would be Maria.
Mhm.
So, Mary, bedridden for God knows how long, right? Probably haggard and just consumed
Oh, she looked
physically.
gross in that video. Yeah.
Um, and then you have Maria here, who is sexy, and she's like, she's very tempting. But then
Mhm.
you also have the sexualization of the enemies, like the legs, the nurses, the thing in the bag, like all those things are kind of representations of James's suppressed sexual
Mhm.
repression, right? He was probably
Yes. Fantasies about the nurse, even if he had a normal, healthy libido and he wanted to think about sex, if he saw his wife decrepit, that would explain why some of these hallucinations are of corpse like rotting legs. Because if he's looking at a leg like, "Hey, all right," but there's a bite taken out of it. So
Mhm.
it's a representation of sexuality, but also, um compromised because he's probably not cheating on her. This is the fantasy of the dynamic and sexy version of his wife.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's another one. I wanna show you what I think. So there's a number of endings. There's one ending which is considered like the good ending as far as like the good outcome.
Mhm.
There's a bad ending, or there's like a narrative ending involving Maria, and then there's the bad ending. It's really up to interpretation. I consider the bad ending really to be the canon ending.
Okay.
The other, and I think a lot of people online, that play the game,
Well, he
will
he
agree.
needs closure. If he gets away with it, he's kind of a murderer.
Well, in the good ending, James escapes Silent Hill relatively unscathed with the little girl Laura. In the other ending, James escapes Silent Hill with Maria. And then you see Maria, they're in the car, and she starts coughing. And then he very kind of dismissively goes, "Yeah, you better take care of that cough." So that ending sort of implies that the cycle continues. He doesn't learn anything. He just replaces one Mary for the other Maria, and then the cycle continues, and he's likely to return to Silent Hill at some point. And then the other ending, which I consider the canon ending, is what's called the in-water ending. And once you kind of come up to this realization that James kills Mary, and then you go through the final boss, which is kind of like a very grotesque version of Mary in bed, is like, oh, super gross. This is the ending that you get after that. This is called the in-water ending.
I miss you so much. I tried. I really did, but I can't. Just can't go on without you. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. I know this isn't what you would want. But I guess it doesn't matter anymore. You're not here. Are you?
What a terrible way to go. So he succumbs to
In
his
my
grief.
restless dream.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we don't have to listen. We can keep watching that, but yeah. So exactly. And then you peek how he looked back. So there's a bunch of theories, and the theory is that when he looked back is because Mary's body is actually in the back of the car, and Mary hasn't actually been dead for 3 years. The theory is that this is immediately after he kills Mary. and he has Mary's body in the back, and he's basically just kind of like totally loses the plot, and
Mhm.
and then that's kind of, he's, Silent Hill kind of takes him in, um and yeah, so that's kind of more or less the background for that.
Interesting. I I I don't really think that that could be a true ending because a lot of people the integration of the shadow is not forgiveness for what people have done. It's a recognition of the totality of our humanity, including our aggression. Maybe a willingness to pay for his crimes, go to jail, confess to what he did. But um, yeah, I think that that's the surprising part because I did he was it a violent murder? Did
No,
he
he
just
kind of just
smother her?
suffocates her. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would he stash I would wonder why he would move her from that to the bed as opposed to just go, "Oh, doctor, she stopped breathing," or whatnot. She's probably not gonna get exhumed. She's probably not gonna get a very um, detailed autopsy. Um, hmm. I wanna think about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that the true ending would probably be him fully confessing, fully confronting with what he did, with the totality of the emotion, sobbing uncontrollably, screaming at the universe, cursing himself, but also getting a lesson from it. I'm curious what even on the good ending, is there a lesson? Did he get anything from the lesson that when he escapes with the girl, is it like I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna raise you, I'm gonna maybe do right by you, or is it
Yeah, well, that's the other element. That's the other element of Silent Hill. Is that so? The other guy that we didn't talk about is the other character. His name is Eddie. Uh,
ooh, nice
he's the other.
masculine name.
He's the other guy that you run into in Silent Hill. Is this guy? So it's Angela, Eddie, James, Mary, or Maria, and then the little girl Laura. Laura's kind
But
of like
Maria's a manifestation.
yeah,
She's
exactly.
not.
Yeah, yeah. So how uh spoilers, Eddie and Angela don't make it out. Um James in the good ending does make it out. In the bad ending, he doesn't, right? Because he drives himself into the river, into the
Mhm.
lake, right? But James does make it out in the good ending with Laura. Now, the thing that is not really explained, but it's very much implied through the story, is that everybody experiences Silent Hill differently.
Well, I'm guessing they have their own grief and their own traumas. And
Exactly.
do they all kill themselves? Is it all a suicide, or do their traumas take them? Do their
Well,
traumas kill them?
well, James kills Eddie in a battle. Eddie is a boss fight. Um, Angela walks into fire because she sees Silent Hill as a burning hell. Eddie sees Silent Hill as a frozen tundra, just like it's a frozen hellscape. Laura sees Silent Hill as a normal town. So that's why Laura's just walking around normally, just like whoop de doop de doop de doop de doo. She sees like nothing is
Yeah,
happening.
I'm a kid. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
And in the good ending, James kind of like, you know, admits admits the guilt, admits what he's done, and kind of faces it. And I mean, it's implied that the final boss fight is him kind of, confronting it fully and admitting his guilt. Whether he turns himself in or whatever happens after he leaves Silent Hill, we don't know. We have actually, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the chat, but it's actually pretty active right now.
Oh, really?
To DV and Meraxis are really throwing it here.
Oh, hell yeah.
So for Meraxis, In Water is his favorite ending. I do like the In Water, which is when he drives himself into the river. I mean, I just don't think that I just don't see James just
Now,
living happily ever after. He's
I-
like very disturbed.
So if you and Meraxis are both saying this, what is it about him dying? Is it because you don't like him by the end of the story? You want
No,
him
no,
to get
no. I mean,
closure?
I actually think that James is a very likable character, but it's just the way that he's just so detached. You know, he's just so he you can see that the light in him has gone, you know. And as the game progresses and you see him towards the end, kind of like his eyes are all dark and he's kind of haggard and pale. He's
Mhm.
like, I just don't see him, and he's tortured all the way to the end. I just don't see him just, you know, kind
Well,
of
I guess
opening the
that's
blinds and going, oh, what a
I,
lovely
I
sunny
guess that's
day.
why I'm wrestling with it, because I've worked with people who have overcome some of the greatest horrors that I've ever heard. My bar for trauma is very high.
Okay,
Both
yeah, maybe. I mean, listen, that's why we're here
so
talking
yeah,
about this.
I work with Vietnam era veterans. I'm a fairly general practitioner, but if I were to say I specialize, it's veterans, and if I were to specialize further, it's Vietnam era veterans. And these what really separates Vietnam from any of the other conflicts was exactly how many days they were in combat. If it, you know, people compare the Vietnam War to World War II a lot, but in about 4 years, people in World War II probably only I don't have the exact figures, but the exact time that they were actually spent in combat was low. In Vietnam, they were in combat pretty much all year, every single day. Like they spent more hours in combat than a normal World War II vet. And a lot of people ended up doing some things that they horribly regret. And I'm not going to go into details, but some of the most common ones are souvenirs, body part
Mm,
souvenirs. Another common one is firing on civilians, both women and children. And a lot of these people do struggle with what they did while they were at war. Some because they were ordered to. There were times where they it was very popular for the Viet Cong to put explosives on women and children and have the women and children like charge them, so that they had to shoot them to save their men. But there were some events where it was done out of anger, like you look like the person who killed my friend, bang. And some of these people have lived with that for 50 years, and I've seen them reconnect with life. I've seen them uh integrate their shadow and use
okay.
what they've learned to live a more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
If they killed a child, whether it was to save their teammates or because they were just in a blood rage, maybe they get into philanthropy like Toys for Tots, or they organize a chapter of Toys for Tots and they donate school supplies for children or something really important. But they confront their value system. And I really wish there was a shortcut to this. I wish we could just know what's important to us,
Mm-hmm.
but very often we don't know it until we do the bad thing, or we wrestle with it, or we go to Silent Hill and
Right,
we
right, right,
really
right.
confront our demons. And then when we walk out, we know what's important.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Meraxis believes that he took his own life from grief and not guilt. Which, yeah, I mean, I would agree. I would agree, but I just don't. What I say is that I just don't think that he
I
fully.
see. I'm looking at DB's comment. Other ending is continued denial and
Yeah,
fantasy, and I
there you
don't
go.
agree that those are the healthy outcomes of confronting your grief. That is just a new way of resisting. That is just a
Mhm,
new that you have just traded your ego defense. You
mhm.
haven't confronted your soul in any meaningful transformative way. So I can see that if the good endings or the mid ending aren't actual growth, forget about it. But
Yeah,
I don't think that suicide is growth either. Growth would be some degree of integration and living a life aligned with the values that you
yeah,
wrestled with.
yeah. Um, I think a really interesting element here for Silent Hill and the design of the game is that James James throughout James throughout the game as you you go from one version of the world to another called the other world.
Mhm.
The normal world has this really thick fog, and then the other world, and actually here's a really cool video of kind of, do you see the transition from the regular world to the other world? The other world is rusted, is corroded, it's horrendous. It's like everything is just falling apart, right? All
Mhm.
the walls, instead of walls, they're metal sheets of corroded metal, and there's, cables, and everything is kind of fucking coming apart. Angela sees the world in flames. Eddie sees the world cold, and
Mhm.
and uh
That's
and-
the inner circle of hell in Virgil, in not in Virgil, in Dante, in Dante's Inferno. The actual inner circle of hell is not hot, it's a frozen wasteland.
right. Exactly. And
I think that's on purpose. They probably did a nod to Dante's
yeah.
Inferno.
Oh, well, I mean, it's more of like a representation of how of their grief. The world is their trauma, right? So for James is being just completely consumed and corroded, and his guilt is corroding him, right? And his grief is completely consuming him. And
Well, if I were to lean into this conceit, the actual circle of hell in which somebody goes coincides with their sins, and
Mhm.
I think the inner circle is for the worst for like betrayers and
Yeah.
I-
Well, that's not the case here in this. That's not what this is about. But
yeah, Judas frozen. Man, I like the audience participation. Our
yeah,
chat
hell
is
yeah, thank you
lit
guys.
up. This is heck yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Judas is frozen by the chill of Satan's beating wings. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, that's not what this is about. But I I I like the parallels, but it's different. And actually, this is a spoiler for next episode, because on next episode, I want us to go through the stories of Angela and Eddie. They are very interesting, and they are much shorter, but I think they are very, very concise and very well portrayed. The interactions, I think, if you kind of were to put it all in a movie, your interactions with Angela are 30 minutes and your interactions with Eddie are at about 25 minutes. But within those, they are just so well fleshed out, and and they are both dealing with two very, very distinct things that I think you'll find very interesting. Um, so I kind of want to go through the um yeah, Angela Maraxa says that Angela's a little more controversial and tragic, for
Well,
sure. But it's definitely this Angela's trauma is it's very real. It's very
well,
real what's
all
happening to these two guys.
all of these are surprisingly real, but what I'm
Mm.
really getting at is that the hell is bespoke to their trauma. Maybe not a
Mhm.
one-to-one translation to
Yeah.
Dante, but that how they wrestle with their grief.
Mhm.
And I kind of use this as a metaphor for depression, but I could certainly use it for grief and trauma as well. It You kind of think of it the way someone would say they have a cold. That could mean a million different things. You could have the sniffles, you could have diarrhea, you could be cold, you could be hot, you can be anything, and it's all different. But everyone, if you say, "Hey, what's wrong?" "Oh, I have the flu," or "Oh, I have the cold." So a lot of times our grief and depression is a lot like that, in that it is, you can say, "Oh, I'm depressed," but that can mean anything. You could be eating more, you could be eating less, you could be sleeping more, you could be sleeping less. Trauma and grief is the same. You are wrestling with very specific things, and what traumatized me would be different from what traumatizes you. What traumatizes James would be different from what traumatizes Eddie, which would be different from what traumatizes.
Mhm.
So if they go into that, I'd be really tickled to see the thread.
Oh yeah, you'll see. I think Angela and Eddie are such compelling characters, and the portrayal of their particular um psychology and their state of mind and their trauma it's very it's real. I mean, it's very visceral, which I love it. So I think I kind of want to, as we wrap it up, kind of want to hear your closing thoughts on Silent Hill. I mean, you haven't played the game, but
Mm-hmm.
just your reaction so far as to how this is portrayed and yeah, all that good stuff. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, as a narrative, I can see how I like how this is. I like how Meraxas framed it. The reason it's compelling is that it's a tragedy, and that is a very clear ending, and you get to walk away going, "Oh, that's sad." But I don't think that maybe that's the most compelling story. I'm blanking on who said this, but I think it was the bard himself. Um, the difference between tragedy and comedy is just where you end it. And I would like to see the comedy, not like a joke, but the happily ever after part. If somebody that he left the town with, he improved their life in a meaningful way, I would think that that's the more compelling ending. Or if he escaped and he lived his life a little bit more authentically, a little bit more free, I would consider that a good ending.
Yeah.
So my final thought is anyone who's watching this who might connect with this grief, maybe not through murdering their spouse, but grief. There is very few people who have maybe a complex grief disorder have that for the rest of their life. Now it happens, but very often you get buffeted by the waves of grief, and every time you get smacked by it, you understand yourself a little bit better, or you understand grief a little bit better. And it's not that the sadness goes away. It's not like you're like, oh yeah, I feel good about murdering my wife, but it becomes more, I don't know, I think it becomes a more foundational part of the human experience. It becomes more of you. I feel like just different ways of saying integrated. But we can't change history. We can just change our relationship with history. And I think that if they demonstrated that, I would, as a therapist, be probably happier with the outcome. But for those watching, I think it's really important to realize that there are ways out of Silent Hill, and it's not the repeating your trauma over and over again. It's not ending your life. It's often a more freer and more integrated person.
Yeah. What I will say, yeah, that's a great closing remark. What I will say too is that James is determined. I mean, whether Silent Hill and Pyramid Head are pushing him or not, he is determined to go through. He is there to see it through and to have some form of resolution. I guess that's the biggest takeaway, is that there's always a way out. And yes, the good ending is when he escapes Silent Hill. Now, note that in Water I said it was a canon ending. I think it's a canon ending, not the good ending. It's still the bad ending.
The compelling ending, the one that's actually like a great end to a good story. I can see that.
Meraxas wants the original, the reading of the original letter, like from the original game, the 2004 game, Meraxas, or
if it's different voice acting, if it's different recordings, maybe they have more of an emotional tone.
The one from, I wonder if he's talking about the one from. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, also DB is making some good comments. Yeah, the continued denial in fantasy. I like the difference between the introject and the analytic depression. No, the
Here we go.
Oh, did you find the clip? Are you going to play it?
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah, good call, Meraxas.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did.
There's more anger in this.
Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
Oh yeah, this is more threatening.
Waiting for you to come to see me.
You better come. You better face your
But
your
you
demons,
never
man.
do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home.
Yeah, I killed you, woman.
Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you, James. That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you.
Oh, this is love
Even
that I
though our
remember.
life together
Is
had
this the
to
starting?
end
Is this
like
the beginning
this,
letter?
Mm-hmm.
I still
full letter, yeah.
wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I am so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
Well, it's more devastating after finding out that he killed her.
Oh, goodness gracious. So he gets this ostensibly post-mortem, right? My question is, does she really write the letter, or is this all an imagination? Is this is James did James create this letter for himself to kind of like, as a matter of justification, as a matter of like taking himself to Silent Hill? This, like, all these things are kind of up for interpretation or up in the air. He could have very well received the actual letter, but this is the letter that kind
And
of
why would
prompts
he
him
have gone to
go.
Silent Hill? Why would he have traveled there
Yeah.
if this was written like, oh, I wrote this before I died?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is
Oh yeah, original Mary's voice actor. Yeah, she went through a lot of emotions in her voice. It started with anger, there was threat, then there was her regret, then there was the love. Yeah, that I very rarely see voice actors go through such range of emotions in really just one dialogue scene.
yeah, it's beautiful. Um
Oh, it only sent the first part. Is that the first part of the letter? Oh man. We're getting a lot of questions here. We have to wind down, but I think you made a very good call on doing a part 2, because
yeah,
we're getting lots of questions about this.
yeah, let's do a part 2. We'll talk about Angela and Eddie, because those characters are very, very, very interesting, just as interesting as James, I think. And then we can just keep making speculations and coming out with our own conclusions as to what's going on here, what's real, what is not, and because all of these stories intertwine together, and what's going on and what's James is going through, the other two are going through us in a similar but also in a more personal way. So,
well, whether it's an Indian burial ground or it's all a hallucination, very much grief is hell for on the living. It is hell while we're alive. I guess this is just the physical manifestation of it.
thank you for everybody that participated in the chat. Great, super active chat this time around.
Popular game.
Yeah, it's a fabulous game. Yeah, I'm scared shitless, but
well, I don't feel like I did too much here. I was kind of hoping that I would react to this or analyze him, but it seems it seems very straightforward. It seems like a very compelling story on its own.
It is very straightforward, but I love your insights. I mean, I think more than a reaction is kind of your insights and kind of how this applies to the real world, and how this applies to actual people dealing with these issues and
hopefully I can give an ounce of hope to people who are going through grief. First of all, don't travel to any Indian burial grounds if you don't want to, wrestle with your demons. But if
I would say generally stay away from
right, don't go to Maine.
Yeah,
well,
stay away from Indian burial grounds. All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to start wrapping this up, but I want to thank everybody for participating. We love comments. I'm not used to so many comments, so I wasn't even looking at the chat window this time. I regret that. Please ask us questions. The more you participate, the more dynamic the show is. The show doesn't exist without an audience. So if you would like a movie or a show or anything that you would like us to cover, comment, shoot us a message. We'll happy to do it. I guess tell everybody how to find us.
So just the usual reminders. We're streaming live. Sorry, we're streaming live on X and on YouTube every Monday. At the same time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also watch this 7:30. Yes, you're right. 6:30, 7:30. You can always watch this in the recorded version, which will be posted on both Dr. Perin's X profile and on YouTube. If you're watching this in the future, you made it this far, thank you so much. Comment, let us know what you think. Like the videos, share them, retweet them, whatever you got to do to spread the word. We're getting some really good traction here. Just a quick shout out to Dr. Perin's new Twitter friend, Elon Musk.
Yeah, and my 2,000 new followers just
And
from
there's
being
2,000
retweeted
new
by
followers.
them.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been really fun. I'm really looking forward to doing the part 2 and taking a look at the other characters and hearing what you have to say about them.
Yeah, well, thank you, Pablo. And everybody, thank you for coming here to talk about psychology and psychotherapy.
Yeah.